When he starts it while we're chilling.
All right, we are live. We are live. Comments fast and furious. We will fire through these as quickly as possible. It's nice to be back in the home base. Last week we were in Texas for the Start Sit live stream. Nice to be back in the home base for this one. Get to chill out, relax, watch some ball. Of course, Brock in here first. He goes against Jonathan Taylor in his home league, and Kamara is out. And Swift is on limited snaps. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it. Yeah, that's definitely brutal. I'm also a victim of Kamara being out in my home league as well. Man, that sucks. Best of luck. I need vintage MT to win this week. Yeah, I'm also relying on Michael Thomas as well. Start Jameis or Brady. Let me pull up my rank.
Brady.
Yeah,
Jameis is questionable.
Yeah, Jameis is. I'm not really worried about his injury. I'm starting him in my home league right now.
Fair. I'd go Brady anyways.
Yeah. Even if the Saints, here we go. Kenyon Drake plus 125 for a touchdown. Michael Carter's plus 185. Who do I play in my flex? I would honestly say that Carter should have the higher odds there.
I actually trust Drake's workload in this game compared to.
Oh right, yeah. JK's out. Yeah. So yeah, I would probably start Kenyon Drake. I forgot that Dobbins was out.
You good? Which two running back should I start this week? Henry, Jacobs, Harris, or Patterson? So Henry's obviously going in your lineup. Patterson and Jacobs is close. I do like the utilization of Patterson from last week, so I'm going to lean Patterson.
Yeah.
I do think Jacobs could score, though.
So yeah, I actually have Jacobs a little bit higher. So I probably would go Jacobs, but I want to get Patterson in my lineup if I can. I think with Damian Williams out, we assume, Algier is going to get his first NFL action. I think they're going to try and mix him in on early downs and not use Patterson as much as they did last week because he was like 24 carries or some shit. I don't think they're going to give him that much work on the ground.
I think he got 26 opportunities.
I love the game total and the environment of the Raiders-Cardinals game. I think Jacobs has a good chance to get in the end zone that one.
Yeah, I am a little bit worried because Jacobs wasn't used like a full-fledged workhorse this past week. I believe he's I'm pretty sure from a utilization standpoint, he seeded all of the long down and distance and 2-minute drill work. So that's a little bit concerning. I think Patterson's probably a safer projection, but like you said, if Jacobs gets into the inside the 5 situation, I could see a case where he rushes in 2 or 3 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, exactly. Just a lot of scoring. Like you said, he's an early down banger, but in a lot of scoring type of game environment, I like his chances to get in. ETN, Kenyon Drake, James Robinson. I feel like we're going to get a lot of Travis ETN questions today.
Give me ETN.
Yeah, so real quick, if anybody has an ETN question, I'll give you guys some straight answers right here. Where I have ETN ranked right now is at 24. I have Chase Edmonds, Clyde, who already played, Ezekiel Elliott, Kareem Hunt, Darrell Henderson, Cordero Patterson, Josh Jacobs immediately ahead of him. And then behind him, I would start ETN over Jeff Wilson, over Devin Singletary, over David Montgomery, over Rashad Penny, Miles Sanders, Damian Harris, Melvin Gordon, Michael Carter, James Robinson.
I have ETN at 24 as well. And in terms of ETN, if you guys are worried, he ceded some work to James Robinson last week, what should we make of it? Kind of talked about it on the running back start sit show, but basically when it comes to ETN, last week is, everything we expected. We expected that J-Rob's healthy. He's probably going to handle a lot of the early down work, but all the valuable touches, all the valuable situations did go in ETN's favor. I think that this is a bounce back week for him. So I do have him in my top 24. By the way, we did get a $4.99 super chat from Aggie. Appreciate that. He says Bateman or Mike Evans. Normally a ludicrous question, but the injury plus bad matchup for Evans has me worried. It's not a ludicrous question. Again, I would still go with Evans. I've tempered my expectations a little bit to more so a mid-range type of wide receiver 2 rather than the mid to late or wide receiver 1 he's been. So I'll still go with Evans. Obviously, the peripherals aren't great with the matchup and the injury, but Evans the type of player where he could be playing on one leg and catch 2 fade touchdowns because that's just the type of player he is.
Yeah, and speaking of Mike Evans, just some quick actives and inactives. We have DeAndre Swift playing, Mike Evans playing, Leonard Fournette playing, Gage playing, Kadarius Toney's playing, Mark Ingram's playing. Inactive, Julio Jones is not playing. So if you guys, I told a lot of people to start Julio Jones this week. He is not playing, not recovered from the knee injury. J.K. Dobbins not playing, Alvin Kamara not playing either. So just a quick, recap of that.
Yep.
There's also there's a $2 somewhere down there.
Yep, I got it. Just give me a second. I don't know where my comments went. There. Okay. We're good now. $2 sticker from Bennett. If you have any questions, Bennett, feel free to answer and I'll take a look down here.
Yep.
Oh, he just says, thank you for all the help. I think I won my draft. Let's go, brother. Go win that money.
Yeah.
Appreciate the super.
Cole said, hey, what's up, boys? Singletary, Paris Campbell, or Ingram full PPR? I'm easily going Singletary here. He's way higher than all these other guys.
Yeah, I agree.
We're going to get a lot of Mark Ingram questions too. So I'll say where I have Mark Ingram ranked. He's in the mid 30s for me. I'm at 36 behind Breece Hall, James Robinson, Cam Akers, Michael Carter, Melvin Gordon. I would start Mark Ingram over like Ramondre Stevenson, Tony Pollard, Rex Burkhead, Damian Pierce, Jamal Williams types, but I'm not too excited about Ingram in a brutal, rushing matchup for a guy that came into this game almost, being inactive also because he's coming in dealing with an injury.
Yep.
Need one for flex, full PPR, Monty or Michael Carter. I have Montgomery a bit higher right now.
Agree. I think you got to trust the workload there. Got a couple super chats down here, by the way. First one from Ozzy, $2 super chat. He says AJ Dillon or DeAndre Swift. I'll still go with DeAndre Swift. I know the questionable tag is a little bit concerning. He is expected to play, but of course, as Corey said, we will see how the workload is affected. DeAndre Swift is the type of player where on 12 to 15 opportunities, like he could still return top 5 overall value on the week. I do like Dillon. He's in my top 15, but I mean, Swift's more of a top 10 option for me.
Yeah, I moved DeAndre Swift down to 14 because of the potential pitch count that he's going to be on, but I still have him higher than Dillon. So yeah, I would still play him. We have a couple more.
Yeah, we got a couple. I got him. Another $2 super chat. Appreciate that from Paul. He says Dillon, Henderson, Gordon need flex full PPR. I'm actually gonna go with Darrell Henderson here. What we saw from week 1 in terms of the utilization was exactly what we want to see. Workhorse type of usage, and obviously a very favorable matchup going up against the Atlanta Falcons, who, when we broke it down, was weighted as one of the top 5 easiest matchups of the week.
Yeah, I have Dillon higher a little bit.
Really? I'll bet that.
Be in like the same territory. I think both guys are really well set up for great weeks this week.
I agree. I'll bet that though.
Yeah, I'll take that. Give me AJ Dillon in PPR versus Darrell Henderson in PPR. Spicy hot.
Yep. Another super chat here from Lewis. Appreciate that, 499. He says, need 2 standard league, assuming T. Higgins plays. Cortland Sutton, Adam Thielen, or Jarvis Landry. I
believe it's confirmed that T. Higgins is playing, correct?
Yeah, it is playing. And with that being said, I'm going to go with Sutton and Thielen. I think they have a very good opportunity to get in the end zone this week.
Yeah, I don't mind Jarvis as well, but I do like the other 2 guys better.
If it was full PPR, it'd be a little bit closer, but like in a standard league, you kind of need that touchdown upside. And with Thielen, we know, this guy's got the opportunity any given week to score 2 or 3 touchdowns, which he's shown in the last few years. And with Sutton, I mean, if we expect this Broncos passing attack to get right after that bad game against the Seahawks, like Sutton's going to profile as that big target in the end zone. So
yeah, for sure.
Got another super chat here. Appreciate that from Derek. He says, just showing love. Hit that like button. 109 viewers, 16 likes. Appreciate the $5 super from Derek. And listen to him. I mean, we have 113 concurrent viewers right now. If we're at 16 likes, that is pretty putrid. I want to see that at least 50, 60 in the next 15 seconds if you guys can get that done. Appreciate that from Derek. Appreciate the super chat. And of course, if you're watching, hit that like button.
Yeah, and we would be remiss, too, if we didn't say shout out to you guys for getting us to 15,000 subscribers. Really appreciate that. Also, we hit 10,000 subscribers on TikTok in the same, or 10,000 followers on TikTok in the same day. So, yeah, appreciate you guys for all the support. As always, any more supers, or can I go back?
Yeah, we got one more. Appreciate that $2 super from Frank. He says, given the Julio news, flex Ramondre or Gage. Is Gage dealing with his own thing or no?
He is, but he's playing. I think Gage is going to be like a 6 to 10 target type of guy in this game. He's a, I had Julio in my top
35,
high 30s. I think like 34 or something like that. I moved Gage up to 37. Like I have Gage in as a top 40 play now.
Yep, I don't mind that either. Another super quickly from Herados. He says, morning, week 2, good to see you boys. No hangovers, Lazard or Robinson in the flex. Yeah, I kept pretty sober last night. I have a couple brews at a friend's house, but
I'm a little hungover. I was at my brother's house last night, and they have 2 like under 2-year-olds. So I'm pretty tired because they were up pretty early.
I was at a friend's house, but I had to drive, so I couldn't drink too hard. But good night. Had a good time. In terms of this question, Lazard, or I'm assuming this is Allen Robinson. If this is Allen Robinson, I will go with Allen Robinson over Allen Lazard.
Yeah, I want to see what Lazard's usage looks like too in the first game. I think he's probably more of like a desperation type of play this week.
Agreed. $1.99 super chat from Edit. He says, morning fellas, Breece or Ramondre in full PPR. I do actually have Ramondre Stevenson higher with the news of Ty Montgomery getting added to the IR. That opens up a lot of opportunity on the long down and distance and 2-minute drills type of situations, which if I'm going to bet between Damian Harris or Ramondre Stevenson to handle those duties, I'm going to bet on Ramondre.
Yeah, I'm going to take Breece here. I already saw him get the targets last week, so I'll take Breece. We're projecting it with Ramondre, but we already saw 10 targets for Breece Hall last week. So
at the same time, I like the matchup for Ramondre compared to the matchup for Breece in terms of game script.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's pretty close. I have them at 35 and 37 respectively, so they're relatively in the same area.
Yeah, I think let me just check right now. I do have Ramondre at 34, Breece at 38, so they're close.
Yeah.
One more super chat here we do have from Uncaged the Line. Appreciate that. He says 1 wide receiver and 2 flex: Judy, MT, DJ Moore, Jacobs, and Hunt. In terms of this question, Judy and MT are for sure my lineup, like no hesitation. And Moore versus Hunt's close, man.
Yeah,
give me Kareem
PPR
Hunt.
lends me towards. I guess they're both like involved in the receiving game, but one of them is a wide receiver. So I actually really think this is a get right game for DJ Moore. He'd probably be the guy I go with. But I love Hunt this week, and I honestly really like Jacobs too. So it's pretty tough between these 5 guys.
I'd go with Hunt. I think he could score a couple touchdowns in this game against the Jets.
Yeah, I'm personally going to go DJ Moore, but I don't blame you for going Hunt.
That's fair. The reason why I'm gearing on that side, I mean, I have both Browns running backs in my top 16 this week. They have, according to the aggregate, the single easiest matchup.
Oh, yeah. The Jets were awful against the run last year. They were brutal against it. I mean, in week 1, Kenyon Drake was like the threat of the run. Yeah. But I think the Browns will just run all over the Jets in this game.
Yep. We got 2 more supers here. One from Zach499. He says, who should I start at wide receiver 2 in flex between Gabe Davis, Allen Robinson, Jahan Dotson, Jarvis Landry, and Elijah Moore? I'm definitely... See, with Gabe Davis out, I'm probably going to lean Elijah Moore and Allen Robinson here.
Yeah, because we don't exactly know if Gabe Davis is going to be out yet, but you don't want to wait until Monday and be screwed and have to pick up like Isaiah McKenzie to throw in your lineup or something. So I would probably just go with Allen Robinson and Elijah Moore as well.
Yep. One more super chat here from James. He's 499. He says Wilson or Murray, and in the flex, Patterson or Michael Carter. I'm going to start Kyler Murray over Russell Wilson. You just got to trust that Konami nature. I think this is a get right game for the Cardinals. In terms of the flex here, Patterson or Carter, I'm going to trust the workload of Cordero Patterson.
Patterson's not leaving my lineup. He's a top 20 guy for me for sure.
Yep, agreed. We're caught up. Appreciate all you guys for the support with the supers. Now let's get back to the order.
Yeah. So Gordo, which 3 wide receivers to start this week? Thomas, Deontay Johnson, DK Metcalf, CeeDee Lamb, or Devontae Smith? So I'm probably going with. It's a toss-up between Metcalf and Lamb for the final spot, but I think I would probably go with Metcalf over Lamb.
Oh, Lamb.
I'm not excited about the Cowboys' first game with Cooper Rush. I think it's going to be a tough sledding.
I would agree with that. I do think that this could be a get-right game for Lamb. I mean, obviously, Cooper Rush is going to affect the overall quality of passing, but at the same time, I just think his
Sharps are hammering the under of 42 points in that game.
Oh, the under's going to hit.
Yeah,
the under's going to hit, and maybe it's just my bias because I mean both of them have their own quarterback issues.
To be fair, Metcalf has a tough weather game also. Yeah. And the under in that game's 39.5, and the fucking Sharps are hammering that under also. Yeah. So maybe actually, you know what? I'm going to change my answer to Lamb because I did forget that the Seahawks are the team that are playing San Francisco, and San Francisco's got some weather.
It sucks given the talent level of both those guys that we're talking about them as like fringe wide receiver 3s at this point. But like, because in a perfect world, this is like a top 12. Like both of them are top 12 wide receivers, and you're discussing between 2 of the highest ceiling options in fantasy. But you know, can't get what we want half the time. Another super appreciate that from R Gravy. He says, good luck today, boys. Please ignore my chat as I'll ask here. PPR, Swift or Patterson, have PPR, Michael Carter, Damian Harris, and finally Brady or Carr. So for the first question, Swift or Patterson, even if Swift's like 70%, I think you got to go with DeAndre Swift. I mean, like we saw like this guy's talent level, the receiving usage, everything is there for potentially a league breaking type of running back season this year. Obviously, you know, the injury is going to hinder him, but I mean, maybe it drops him from 20 PPR points to like 16.
Yeah, I'm not sitting Swift. And for the second part of the question, Carter versus Damian Harris is pretty decent toss up. I don't love the game environment of that Patriots Steelers game. But I think you got a half PPR score. I think I would go Carter slightly, but it is close. I could definitely see Damian Harris being able to get to the end zone, but the Steelers are, you know, healthy up front outside of TJ Watt, so they're probably going to be pretty tough to run against.
I have Carter at 32 and Damian Harris at 37, so I would go with Carter.
Yeah, I have Carter at 32. Actually, I have them back to back in my rankings. I have Carter at 32 and Damian Harris at 33. So
I have Ramondre over Damian Harris because I
don't yet. I'm not ready to do it yet.
I think he's gonna get the receiving usage, and
he definitely could. But I'm gonna wait until it actually happens before I start ranking him over him.
Yeah, that makes sense. But to be fair, you also have Aaron Jones over AJ Dillon, so you're more the wait and see. I think I jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So are we caught up here?
Yep, it's all you. I'm gonna keep looking for supers and anything
All right.
down here.
Cole says eliminate one. Henderson, Elijah Moore, CD, Metcalf, Terry. This is
Elijah.
Yeah, probably going Elijah. I wouldn't blame you for eliminating Metcalf because of the weather potential,
Agreed.
but I think I'm eliminating Elijah there. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
MT last one stuff. I go CD. Thanks for the great content and information as always. Two quick ones today. Swift or Aaron Jones already have Lenny and Dylan starting. Yeah, give me Swift there, and then easily Dallas Goedert over Mill, 100%. Then Tom says Dotson, Elijah Moore, or Allen Robinson. Love the content, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going Elijah Moore there as well. Y'all ready for Nyheim Hines, wide receiver one day? I'm pretty sure he's like the chalk DFS running back play right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I could imagine. Again, like I kind of said it in our live stream, and I said
him and Paris Campbell got a lot of steam after Pittman got ruled out. I think Ashton Doolin, low key, is going to be the guy that hits out of that offense. Personally.
Well, I was going to say I
got to take Kamara in the lineup in this league. Hold on.
I said it in the stream yesterday, the Patreon stream, and I also said it in the Start Sit show. But basically, when it comes to Nyheim Hines, especially in full PPR, like if he has a week this week where he blows up and he goes, 20 plus PPR points, let's just say hypothetically with Pittman out of this matchup, like he's the perfect sell high. And maybe, again, as I kind of said, maybe you could sell Hines for like Breece Hall after this week if Breece Hall has a bad week.
Yeah, dude, you want to hear something horrible? In our listener dynasty league, my flex options on a weekly basis have been some combination of, because I'm so strong at running back. I have Saquon, I have Leonard Fournette, I have Alvin Kamara, I have J.K. Dobbins, but both of those other two guys are out, right? Kamara and Dobbins are out. My backup flex is like Julio Jones, who's also out. But thankfully, I still have Jarvis Landry on my bench, so that's probably who I'm going to toss in there. And I have Jameis, so I got a nice little stack between those guys.
Yep. We actually do have one other super chat here. Appreciate that from Saxon. Traded Henry and Carter for Saquon and Juju. Thoughts? Yeah, I'm absolutely smashing this. I would much rather Saquon straight up over Henry at this point. And then Carter versus Juju. I'm not a big Juju guy, but at that point, I mean, he's gonna have a get right. You're buying him after probably one of his worst performances of the year.
Yeah, he's definitely more valuable for me than Carter. So yeah. King Marcelo, how's it going, fellas? What's going on? Quick questions. Need 2 wide receiver and 1 flex. Drake, London, Jacoby Myers, Jeff Wilson. I'm going to go with London and Jeff Wilson there. I don't want anything to do with the Patriots passing game right now.
Agree with that.
Good morning, fellas. Your boy at the Packers-Bears game tonight.
Oh, enjoy, man.
Trying to make some noise to make life difficult for Fields. Who Bush is starting against me this week? Yeah, I am playing against Nate, but you're lucky I'm without like my entire team. I don't have Dobbins. I don't have Kamara. I don't have Julio. Yeah, I'm missing a couple guys this week for sure. Sucks that I have to first Jonathan Taylor and Nick Chubb. Yeah, I think Nick Chubb's going to go fucking berserk today. Also, if Nick Chubb does go berserk today, he's going to be like the biggest sell high candidate after
100%.
2 weeks. If you can, you'll probably be able to flip Nick Chubb straight up for Austin Eckler after this week.
Austin Eckler,
be able to do that.
Austin Eckler, I was also thinking like, what other high picks?
I mean, Kamara, if you're okay buying into the injury factor.
Kamara would be another one. Yeah, no, I agree. Basically, any running back, like you're probably not going to be able to buy Saquon. You're probably not going to be able to buy CMC. You're probably not going to be able to buy JT.
CMC has another down game. You might be able to use Chubb in a small piece to get to CMC.
Which, by the way, again, I talked about it on the show too. But if anybody here is still worried about Christian McCaffrey, his utilization in week 1 is exactly what we needed to see. I'm actually feeling more comfortable and more confident about CMC based off the usage we saw in week 1 than I was going into the year. Obviously, I expected it to happen, but there was still the unknown that, he's coming off injury the last couple of years. Maybe, they scale back his workload. Like he got legitimately a bell cow level of utilization. It's just the overall touch workload wasn't really matching it. But we literally saw this week. Matt Rule made it a point of reference, or was it Ben McAdoo? Ben McAdoo made it a point of reference. Like, yeah, we were putrid from a play calling standpoint. We need to get Christian McCaffrey the ball if we're going to move the ball down the field. That's basically what he said this week in a presser. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if McCaffrey this week had like 25 touches in this game.
Yeah. Do you want to hear the most disgusting start-sit decision I've asked in my life? In my Big Dogs Bash team is decimated with injuries right now. So in my flex, I'm deciding between Kadarius Toney and Kendrick Bourne right now.
You have nobody else?
No, man. I have Keenan Allen out, Chris Godwin out. Like, my whole receiver core is decimated right now.
Yeah. But by the way,
DeAndre Hopkins. Like, I think I'm going to start Kendrick Bourne, to be honest. I don't trust Kadarius Toney at all.
Yeah, but Bourne's in the doghouse too. They're both in the doghouse.
Yeah, literally. I got the doghouse boys.
Just go Toney, honestly. Like, fuck. They're both in the doghouse. At least maybe you get some carries and he gets like 4 points.
Ew. What a gross decision.
Cristobal, brother, appreciate the $2 super chat. Do you have any question associated to it? I'll look down here and get to it for you. By the way, so while we're waiting for Cristobal, he has it right here. Perfect. Deontay Johnson or Michael Thomas is my wide receiver 1 PPR. Give me Michael Thomas here, Cristobal.
Yeah, go with Michael Thomas. I like Deontay this week, though, too. Not sounding good for Gabe Davis. I have McKenzie, or do I hold out and just play Carter today instead? I would. Carter's not enough of a needle mover to me. I think I'm cool waiting on Gabe Davis and just playing McKenzie if he's out.
I don't mind going with McKenzie if Gabe Davis is out, yeah.
Carter's, full PPR, it could be a lot of passing opportunity for Carter. That's close, man. That is really tough. At the same time, does anybody know what the most recent news is on Gabe Davis? I saw there's like a Bills doctor that also gives fantasy advice or something that said it looks like he's going to be out, is what I saw.
I would still wait on it because I mean, realistically, like if
Gabe Davis plays, man, like Davis is going to be a top. He was my wide receiver 16 before this injury came up, so like he was like a must start, 100%.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Davis too, like I don't mind waiting because I mean, realistically, even if Davis is out, like I think McKenzie's still a fine play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm cool.
I would wait
cool with that.
Yeah. $5 super chat from Rubio. Appreciate that. He says, I know it's ugly and may or may not take some deep analysis, but Zach Moss, Robert Woods, Nico Collins, and Richie James. I'm gonna trust Robert Woods here. I know it feels gross, but you got to go with Woods. If I again, like even for the purpose, even if you think Zach Moss is gonna have like a decent game in this one, if I can get an excuse to not watch Zach Moss play football, like I would rather do that.
I also think you could galaxy brain your way into Nico Collins because of Brandon Cook seeing shadow coverage from Pat Surtain. Like it's possible that game they could throw the ball a lot. Nico Collins was out there operating as the wide receiver 2 from like a route standpoint. But I just don't think Collins is that good of a player, to be honest.
The pain in that, yeah, no, that
I think Woods is your best projection for targets. I think you just go with Woods.
Yeah. And again, appreciate that $5 super chat. Hopefully that helps you because it's an ugly decision either way, but I personally would go with Robert Woods.
Yeah.
$1.99 from Pionio. He says, happy PPR, Hines or Stevenson. Congrats on 15K. Hey, appreciate the shout out there for 15K. Half PPR makes it close.
I got to move Hines up. I have him too low right now.
I'm at 36 right now, so I think.
Would you rather start right now, Hines or Mark Ingram at half PPR?
Hines. I have Mark Ingram low though.
Yeah, I agree. I think I probably would rather have Hines. So if anybody's looking at my weekly rankings, I just moved Hines up to 36 ahead of Mark Ingram. So he's like right behind like Breece Hall and Cam Akers and James Robinson, some of the other guys.
I moved him to 35.
Yeah,
I do have Ramondre at 34, so I would go with Ramondre here.
Yeah, that's a close one though. That's really close. I have them like right near each other.
$4.99 from Hector. Appreciate that. He says, good morning. Pick one, Akers, Harris, Gordon, or Burkhead. So I'm going to assume that this is, I was going to say, I'm going to assume that this is Damian Harris. Give me Melvin Gordon. That matchup against the Texans, like I expect both him and Javonte to absolutely eat in this matchup. Very similar case, in my opinion, to what I expect to see from Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt this week.
Yeah, I think Gordon's like a solid flex play if anybody is like missing Kamara or Swift or not Swift, any of the other like players that are out. I think Gordon's a solid top 30 running back this week.
$2 super chat from Trojan. Appreciate that. He says stand Dillon or Kareem Hunt, Goddard, Ertz, Taysom Hill for tight end. So first question, Dillon or Hunt? They are back to back in my rankings. I have AJ Dillon at 15 and Kareem Hunt at 16. So I would lean Dillon, but it hurts to sit Kareem Hunt. I think he's going to go the fuck off this week too.
Yeah, I have Dillon a couple spots. They're a bit more separated for me. I have Dillon at 16 and Kareem Hunt at 20, so I would go with Dillon as well. It's a fucking
fair. In terms of the second question, Dallas Goedert is my tight end 5 on the week, so give me Dallas Goedert this week.
Yep, agreed. I'm not sitting Dallas Goedert for those options there.
$1.99 from Michael. He says full PPR need a flex, Gabe Davis or James Conner.
You got to just play Conner.
James Conner's a top 12 overall running back until we see otherwise.
Yeah, it's I'm a little shocked that we didn't see more of an emphasis on either Eno or Darrell Williams being more of the pass catching back. I don't know if that's going to work out long term because
maybe it could.
Connor has not been a guy that's been able to hold up to a huge workload. So if Connor goes off this week, that'll be 2 games in a row that he's had a good week. He might be a great sell high candidate to try and up tier to like an Eckler if somebody's buying low on him.
Sounds good. We're all caught up on the super, so now it's just your end now.
Yeah. Nate says pick 2 flex PPR, Hollywood, CD, Jacobs, Hunt. Hollywood for sure.
I'm Hunt or CD.
I probably would go Hunt personally in PPR.
I think I agree.
Yeah. PPR really kind of disqualifies Jacobs out of this. Like I have Jacobs higher in my half PPR rankings than Hunt, but they're like 1 spot apart and full PPR.
I'll make that bet with you. Half PPR. Hunt versus Jacobs.
I don't really want to make that bet. I'm not confident in that take. It's like they're right next to each other. I think the touchdown upside's there with Jacobs, but Hunt also has, pretty high upside in that matchup as well. So I think to answer your question, I think I'd go Hollywood and Hunt.
Agree with that. We got one more super here, actually 2 more from Melvin and Cordell. From Melvin, we do have 14 team PPR pick 2 flex, Bateman, ETN, or Elijah Moore. I think I'm gonna go ETN and Elijah Moore. What do you think here?
I'm not playing ETN over Bateman. I'll play Bateman and Elijah Moore.
It's fair. In a full PPR, it's probably fair.
Yeah. I'd go with those 2 guys. I like to wait and see with ETN if I can. Those are good enough options that you can do that.
Sounds good. Got a super here from Cordell. Cordell, if you have a question, feel free to leave it, and I'll get down to it down here.
Yeah. Currently I have Gabe Davis in my flex. Only player I have on Monday. I have Allen Robinson on my bench that I would play Allen Robinson instead of waiting for Gabe Davis. Yep. It sucks because I think Davis would have a huge game if he plays, but it's risky to wait for him.
Yep, I agree with that. Another super here from Matty499. He says RB and flex open PPR. Zeke, ETN, Curtis Samuel, Ayuk, or Kenyon Drake. For this, I think I just got to trust the workload of Ezekiel Elliott in a potential get right game. They look so abysmal. I think they could be a very conservative, cautious game plan from Dallas. So I'm going to go with Zeke there. In terms of the other question, I'm probably going to go with Travis Etienne over the rest here.
Yeah, if Ayuk didn't have weather conditions in that San Fran game, I'd probably go with Ayuk in the flex, but I agree. I'd go Etienne as well.
Agree with that. Got a couple supers down here, so I'll get to. Mac $10 $2 super. Appreciate that. He says start CD and Elliott or Dylan and Bateman. I'm going to go with Dylan and Bateman.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yep. Also, Cordell left his question, so we'll quickly get to that, and then we'll get to Gavin's super chat as well. Full PPR: Travis Etienne, Elijah Moore, Jerry Jeudy, or Bateman. I have Jerry Jeudy inside my top 15 wide receivers this week, so I'll go with Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, give me Jerry Jeudy as well.
Another super here from Gavin. Appreciate that. Drake London or Russell Gage in at flex full PPR. Give me Drake London. Like, he showed everything you needed to see. 22% target share in week 1. Rookie receiver, his first career game. I think that we could potentially see, maybe not obviously a Justin Jefferson level rookie season, but I wouldn't be shocked if by the end of the year we're talking about Drake London as like an 1,100 yard, 10 touchdown type of guy.
Yeah, and this week I think he's full PPR. I think most weeks than not he's going to out target Russell Gage. Although I do like Russell Gage this week.
Agree with that. 499 from Alfredo. Appreciate that. He says with the Kamara out, need RB2 in flex CPAT. Oh, so he needs an RB2 and a flex. Okay. Yeah. CPAT, Ingram, Deontay, MT, Amonra, Drake, Harris, Edmonds. Oh my God, you're gonna have to sit one of MT or
running back. So CPAT's the running back, and I don't want to sit Amonra, but you got to play Michael Thomas.
You got to play Michael Thomas. Agreed. So I go CPAT and Michael Thomas, and again appreciate the super chat. And a big shout out Alfredo. He's been here from day one.
Yeah.
Got another super here from Saxon. Pick 2 wide receivers and 1 flex PPR. CD, Deontay, Amonra St. Brown, Hunt, or Dylan. In terms of the receivers, I would go with Amonra for sure.
Deontay is probably the other guy I'm going with.
Probably, and then I would lean Dylan there. That's a close question though.
Yeah, so Hunt and Dylan are close. I mean, CD's just behind those other receivers. Yeah, that's a tough decision. I'd go, Deontay, Amonra, and AJ Dillon as well.
Agree with that. And again, appreciate the super chat, Saxon. We are caught up, Corey.
Yeah, I already read this question. For me, he's wanting to know basically who should he flex on this lineup. He has Drake in there right now, but I actually would rather have Russell Gage this week. I believe it's he didn't leave scoring format, but if it's any kind of PPR, give me Russell Gage. What's up, boys? MT or Bateman? Give me Michael Thomas there pretty easily there, 401.
Agreed. Today, I can see it, Gordo. I like those. I like those calls.
Yeah, Jameis Winston dealing with 4 fractures in back will play through the pain. Dude, I don't like the sound of this when I have the guy in my lineup right now.
Dude, I told you his injury is risky, dude. That's why I picked Carson Wentz up everywhere over him.
I didn't get him anywhere. He went for like
really?
30 fab bucks in my league.
No
I'm
shot.
not spending that on Carson Wentz.
I got him for free in my league.
Yeah, like there's no options for me really to pivot to either. Like my pivot options on the waiver wire, if I don't want to play Jameis today, are like Mitch Trubisky, Marcus Mariota, Matt Ryan without Michael Pittman.
Mariota, dude.
I don't want to play Mariota, dude. I'd rather play a hobbled Jameis Winston because I have Michael Thomas also.
12 carries last week. That's fair.
I'm not playing Marcus Mariota. I don't trust that guy at all.
Fair. Jer, appreciate that $5 super chat. He says half PPR, Michael Carter or Elijah Moore. Give me not Michael Carter. Give me Elijah Moore there, Jer. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I real quick. I told you about my parlays, right? Like I have two $50 parlays, 4 games that I parlayed together. One of my parlays already has a game that hit because Justin Herbert did the absolute Lord's work and hit the backdoor cover for me with that final touchdown that he scored. But right now, active, I have because somebody mentioned upsets. I have a 4-team parlay right now with the Chargers plus 4.5, which already hit. Seahawks plus 8.5. I think in a sloppy game like that, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of points. So I like the underdog getting 8.5 points. What I got them at. I have the Bills minus 9.5. So I think they're gonna dumpster the Titans.
I agree.
And I have the Chicago Bears plus 9.5 because the Packers didn't look good enough to me to be a nearly a 10-point favorite.
Did you say you have the Texans line too?
I also have the other parlay. I have the Bills in both of them. So if the Bills lose, I'm screwed in both of these parlays, which kind of sucks. But or they don't hit the spread. The Texans plus 9.5 against the Broncos. I have Arizona Cardinals plus 5.5 against the Raiders. Sorry, Spicy Hot, and Atlanta Falcons plus 10.5 against the Rams. I also have. So I took a bunch of underdog spreads today.
Yep. Sounds good. Let's get back to the comments. A lot of people in here.
Jags plus 3 is enticing. Yeah, without Pittman, I think it's not bad for sure.
Yeah, anonymous. None of that. Okay. None of that in the chat. See you later, pal.
Mooney, Gage, Edmonds, A-Rob start 2 full PPR. So easily, I'm going London for sure. And then it comes down to Mooney and A-Rob probably, or sorry, Edmonds and Mooney for the other spot. But I'm probably going to go Edmonds, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'm not too excited about A-Rob or Mooney this week. The game environment situations, I'd rather roll with a guy like Edmonds with the guaranteed workload.
Yeah, I don't mind that. So you said what? London, A-Rob, and Edmonds?
Just 2 he needs. I'm going London and Edmonds.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that then.
Yeah. Mike Evans questionable. Do I play him with a strong matchup or play Mooney or Ayuk? No, you play Mike Evans over those guys.
Yep. By the way, I just wanted to reiterate this because there was a couple comments that are like, oh, well, like where's my question? The way we do this is we go in order of how the questions occur, and of course, if there's a super chat, we'll go to your question right away. But so if you want to skip the line, you do that. But
right, way, and the best way to get your question answered is to get in here fast. Like when we go live around 11:30, get your question in right away, and the best way you'll be notified to do that is to hit the notification bell and make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. And again, if you don't want to jump in these live streams, you can't get to your questions. I mean, there's almost 200 people in here right now. Yep. So if you want to get your, just want to know who to start and who to sit, our weekly rankings are available either on Patreon or with an underdog sign up, a new underdog sign up and deposit using promo code FSE. And of course, you get 100% back when you deposit over there. So if you want to skip the line and just get the question answered by accessing our rankings, you can do that. Both linked down below in the description of this video as well.
Yep. I also, just want to say for the most part, you guys have been well behaved in the chat. You guys have been civil in the chat. Seen a couple people in the chat, but I made sure they're timed out. So appreciate for the most of you keeping the chat civil.
Facts. I think Granson has the highest chance. Brock's giving some Colts analysis out here. This will probably be my weekly question, but full PPR, Elijah Moore, ETN. I'm going to take Elijah Moore this week. I want to I like ETN. I think he's a fine start if you're in a decent spot here. He's like a top 24 running back for me, but Elijah Moore is just guaranteed at least, 5+ targets in that offense. It's not going to be a great game environment. It's probably not going to be a high scoring game, but I'll still take Elijah Moore there.
Agree with that. Just for reference, Corey, so we can let the chat know what time is
11:40 a.m. So we're about 25 minutes behind. So if you look where your question was asked and it was 11:50 or whatever, we're getting there. We'll try and rip through as many of these as we can. If Winston doesn't play, are y'all comfortable starting Michael Thomas over Deontay Johnson or Michael Carter?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'd be going Michael Thomas even if Winston didn't play over Deontay Johnson regardless.
Agree with that.
Good morning. What's up? In full PPR, should I start Hertz or Lamar? That is a fucking really difficult question. And should I start Hollywood or Judy? So for me, the second part of that question is Hollywood. I would start Hollywood over Judy personally.
They're number 9 and number 13 in my wide receiver ranking. So I'm curious to see what your other decisions are at wide receiver, because I'd love to start both of them. In terms of the quarterback question, I actually have Hertz, I believe, higher than Lamar in my rankings right now. Let me just take a look.
I have Hertz QB3 and Lamar QB4. So they're both at home. I like Minnesota's ability to score the ball on the other side of the things. But, I mean, Miami played an up-tempo brand of offense last week, too. So I think they're both in great spots this week. I really wish you didn't have both of those quarterbacks, and I would probably try and shop one of them if you could. I would go Jalen Hertz personally.
I have Hertz at 4 and Lamar at 5, so it's the same type of situation. Another super chat from Saxon. Appreciate that. $1.99. He says traded Evans for Andrews in Dynasty. Thoughts? Love that move. Evans, depreciating wide receiver, 28 years old. At least with Mike Andrews, you get that insulation of being, a top 2 overall tight end in Dynasty. So in terms of startup difference, usually you see Mark
they're
Andrews
going well different in start. You can get Mike Evans in like the 8th, 9th round in most startups, and then Andrews is more like a 3rd, 4th round pick, and any kind of tight end premium, you absolutely took that guy to the woodshed. Exactly. He also said, should I start Mike Evans? Light, if you can start, I'd rather start Hollywood and Judy over Mike Evans.
I would agree with that.
I would rather sit Evans for those guys if you can. But if it's a separate league or whatever, you should start Mike Evans if you have no better options.
Yep.
Hit the like button. Yes, appreciate that, Ethan.
Appreciate that, Ethan. We got another $6.99 super chat from AJ. Boys, Burrow or Lamar? Give me Lamar Jackson in this matchup. Obviously, with Lamar, you're getting that added bonus that he could potentially rush for 80, 100 yards in this game. So, I mean, with Lamar, I just don't sit him in that type of option unless you have like a Jalen Hurts. In terms of the next question, Gainwell or Jeff Wilson, a full PPR? Give me Jeff Wilson. I really trust this workload, especially in what is expected to be an ugly weather game. We can really expect the San Francisco 49ers to really lean on that run game. And with Jeff Wilson, we saw he got pretty much all of the opportunity once Elijah Mitchell got hurt last week.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I really trust Jeff Wilson's workload, but I trust it more than Gainwell's workload. So
I agree.
I'll go with him there. And then
Watson.
I'd be going Watson of the Packers wide receivers. We saw him run more routes, and with Lazard back, maybe Dobbs gets downgraded a little bit on the depth chart in the pecking order.
Yep, I agree with that.
You got more?
We got one more here. $4.99 from Dylan. Morning, guys. Fields or Ryan as a quarterback 2 in 2 quarterback league. Nervous to start Ryan without Pittman Jr. I think I would go with Justin Fields there. Just trust the rushing ability in both 2 murky quarterbacks.
That's easy. Justin Fields for me.
Agree. Actually, one more too here. He says Judy or Kirk in full flex. Sunset wide receiver 2, FYI. I personally would start Judy as my number 1 in this option, but I would go with both Broncos receivers over Kirk. As hard as it is, as well as Kirk played last week, I just think that the Broncos projection this week is so nice.
Yeah, I know. It really does suck having 2 Broncos wide receivers. You feel like you need to diversify, but I promise you, trying to play that game every week, which one goes off, maybe there's no right answer. Maybe they both go off every week, but for the most part, I'd probably just be starting those 2 guys. And shout out, I don't think we've ever surpassed 200 people in a live stream before, but we are currently at 201 people in here. So definitely appreciate you guys for sure. Alex says Ingram or Jeff Wilson. I'm going Jeff Wilson there pretty easily.
Yep, pretty easily. How
are we feeling about Colts defense against the Jacksonville Jaguars? I think it's a pretty solid matchup for them. They don't have a ton going on offense, so maybe the Jags are able to keep it close because Pittman's out. But if Jonathan Taylor gets going, I mean, it's probably going to be a classic Colts play defense and run the ball type of game.
Yep.
Drake or Zeke? Give me Ezekiel Elliott there pretty easily.
$2 super from B Ruckus. I appreciate that. He says, "Sup fellas, great content, means a lot." He says Chubb, Kirk, or Dylan. You're never gonna hear me say I love Nick Chubb this week, but I fucking love Nick Chubb this week. That matchup against the Jets is perfect for what you could expect of a running back of Nick Chubb's skill set. That Cleveland offensive line is absolutely going to decimate that Jets front. I would be shocked if Nick Chubb didn't have like 160 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, I'd be floored if Nick Chubb didn't have a good game. Period. Like not even just a stat line projection. Like I'd be surprised if he was like under 10, under 12 fantasy points or something. I'd be really shocked.
And he's the perfect sell high running back after this week. I'm sure Corey will get into that in the trade targets and sells show. Another super chat here from Saxon. Appreciate that. Flex PPR, ETN, Pollard, or Ayuk. Give me Travis Etienne here, Saxon.
Yeah, I'd go Ayuk if the weather wasn't bad, but give me ETN as well.
Yep.
What's up? What's going on, Joanne?
No, nothing. Just another $5 super chat. Appreciate that from JT. He says, should I take a chance on Gabe playing or go ahead and start either London or Paris Gamble? I think I'd roll with just Drake London this week. It's kind of looking murky in terms of the projection for Gabe Davis, unless you have, a suitable option to play on Monday Night Football. And maybe you have, like a Traylon Burks on your bench or something. I wouldn't mind that.
I would rather play Isaiah McKenzie than Traylon Burks if Gabe Davis was out.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I would 100%. I think there really is no good options on Monday night to pivot to, because it's not like you have a stud number one on the other team that might be on your bench or something like that. Like if they were playing like the Jets or something and you could pivot to like Elijah Moore, if Gabe Davis was out, then it'd be a lot easier. But like I don't want to play with Traylon Burks or any of the other Bills wide receivers other than really Isaiah McKenzie if Gabe Davis is out.
Yeah, I get that. I don't mind going Drake London. I think he's going to have a good week this week. He showed everything you needed to see in week one from a rookie receiver. Another super chat. Appreciate that from Hector$99. He says Marquis Brown, CD Lamb, or Dotson flex spot, pick one. Marquis Brown's a top 10 wide receiver for me this week, so give me Brown.
Yeah, I'm going to plug my phone in real quick, so I'll let you
go for it.
Get this question going here. Actually, you got more supers. So.
Yep, one more super. Pick two PPR, CD, Waddle, Mark Ingram. Give me CD Lamb and Jalen Waddle here. Appreciate that, P-Money. So when Corey, you have where we left off. Okay, perfect.
I just needed to plug my phone in there. It's at the other side of the room. Okay, potentially limited Swift or CPAT full PPR.
Swift for me.
Yeah, this is a decision where you could like look back on this after the week is over and be like, I should have just played CPAT because Swift only got like 40% of the snaps or something. But I mean, given what we know about how they use Swift, I don't think they're going to put him in many like hazardous situations. They'll probably just use him in the receiving game. So I'll probably take Swift still here.
Yep.
Let's go St. Brown or Higgins for flex.
Wow.
St. Brown. I'm going T. Higgins. He's playing. He's healthy. I'm going with T. Higgins.
What a question. I don't want to sit either of them, but yeah, I would probably lean with T. Higgins there. But I mean, St. Brown is looking like one of those league winning type of breakout receivers that we get every year in the mid rounds.
Yeah.
Sorry, another super chat here. Got one more, and this is gross. Akers or Ingram. I'm going to plug my nose and play Mark Ingram. Until I see Akers actually using this offense, I got to play Ingram here.
Yeah, I don't want. I never thought I'd be answering this question, not Cam Akers. If you told me 3 weeks ago this would be a question that was asked on our live stream, I'd fucking want to throw up. But yeah, give me Ingram as well.
Yep.
Hey boys, good morning. Burks or Dotson PPR? Give me Dotson easily. I can't trust Burks until he gets the usage, the routes and stuff. And there's gonna be something to be said for potentially buying some of these rookie wide receivers low from like a dynasty perspective, because if they're not producing in redraft, guys like Burks, guys like Sky Moore, guys that aren't getting the routes yet, they could make for really good dynasty buy low candidates, because guys like Dotson, Olave, and some of these other dudes are getting the routes. But the other rookie wide receivers doesn't mean they're bad players. They're just not being put on the field. As long as when they're on the field, they're like good targets per route run and stuff like that. I'm cool buying into those guys from like a dynasty perspective. It's Danny's about to say, targets are earned, routes are given. And if you're not given the routes, like Burks and Sky Moore aren't being given right now, then you can't really do anything about that until maybe there's an injury or you play yourself into more playing time.
Yep. No, I would agree with that. We actually got a couple more supers here from Leonardo's the question. Sorry. We got a couple supers here from Mike and James. Appreciate that. $4.99. He says Kirk or Lance. I have Kirk and Justin Jefferson combo. I don't mind going with the stack there.
If you didn't, so
I don't mind going with that stack there. Justin Jefferson's going to go the fuck off on Monday. I have no issues with that at all.
Yeah. Good secondary in Philly, though. So maybe they're not as bad as what they showed last week with Jefferson.
James, appreciate that. $4.99. He says, should I start DPJ, Devontae Smith, Tyler Boyd, Devin Duvernay, Damian Pierce for my flex spot? I'm going to take Devontae Smith here.
Yeah, I agree. If Higgins was out, I'd probably go Tyler Boyd, but I'll take Devontae Smith as well.
Okay with that. They're close. If Higgins was out, but he's obviously playing.
Yeah. PPR flex, Rex Burkhead, Naeem Hines, Jahan Dotson, Jacoby Myers. I'm probably going to go Jahan Dotson of these options here, Pionio.
Yep, I agree with that.
Our Gravy said he asked that in a super chat, but I would go Brady there over Carr. Gabe Davis, Bateman, or A-Rob, PPR. I'm probably just going to go Bateman. I'm not going to wait on Gabe Davis.
Agree with that. I'll go Bateman.
London or A-Rob? I'll go Drake London there, Ethan.
Yep. Wilson versus Seattle or ETN. Sorry, Jeff Wilson. Okay.
Jeff Wilson versus Travis
Give me
Etienne.
ETN.
Yeah, I'll take ETN there as well.
Sorry, got another super chat here. Appreciate that from AJ 279 Canadian. He says Ramondre or Hines half PPR. Also Knox or Logan Thomas in PPR. So for the first question, give me Ramondre Stevenson and a half PPR over Nyheim Hines. I think they're pretty close, but I mean, I just trust that Ramondre Stevenson is probably obviously going to get more, between the tackles type of work. And if he assumes that Ty Montgomery role on third downs, they could have comparable projections from a receiving standpoint. So I'm going to go with Ramondre Stevenson. In terms of the PPR, Knox versus Thomas, give me Dawson Knox, especially if Gabe Davis is expected out.
Yep. Derek says, happy football Sunday. Happy
Appreciate
football
that.
Sunday to all of you in the chat as well. Rex Burkhead or Ramondre Stevenson? Give me Ramondre. I'm not excited about Rex Burkhead.
I got Burkhead higher actually
again this week, but I'm not probably going to be firing him up in my lineup very, very much.
I got Burkhead higher, dude.
Oh, no, I'm not doing it. I think Damian Pierce is going to get more touches this week.
I'll bet that.
What, Stevenson versus Rex Burkhead?
Yeah, and it sucks that I love Stevenson, but I genuinely think based off the workload that we saw last week, like we're doing a lot of projection thinking that Pierce is just going to take it. He's probably going to take it within the next few weeks.
He's going to take all of the work. I think he's going to take more of the work.
Fair, it could. Also go with Burkhead if you want to make that a bet.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Burkhead's my RB25 this week.
Oof, dude, I have him RB40.
Yeah, that's a clear discrepancy. I mean, you got to look at the usage from last week from him.
Oh, I know what the usage was. It was high. I just don't believe that they're legitimately going to do that again.
I'm messing with you. Don't worry. Make that a bet, though, Spicy. We are chilling.
Elijah Moore or Michael Carter. Oh, yeah. We got another super.
Sorry. $10 super chat from Carl. Appreciate that. He says Akers, Boyd, or Sutton at flex. Steelers or Rams D. OJ Howard or Fant. So for the first question, Akers, Boyd, or Sutton. Give me Cortland Sutton pretty easily there, Carl. In terms of Steelers or Rams D. Give me the Rams D going up against Marcus Mariota.
Honestly, man, like the Patriots looked bad last week.
Yeah.
I might take the Steelers D here.
Even without
Watt, even without TJ Watt, I think they can absolutely dominate that game.
I'll defer to you there because you probably play more defense leagues than I do.
I don't play in any. I'm in zero.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll take the Steelers D. I think the sacks will be there with them. Not like, the Rams will still be able to get after the quarterback also with the Falcons. I don't know, man. Those are both like top 5 options at defense for me. So I don't think you can really go wrong either way.
And in terms of Howard versus Fant, both are very, very gross tight end options. I think I'm going to go Fant.
Who played more usage? Because both of them
got awful usage.
Yeah.
Fant played 41% route participation, but like I want to say OJ Howard played like 7 total snaps.
So do you want to take the chance that Howard plays more this week, or do we want to just maybe say that Fant is a little safer?
Give me Fant. It's gross, but
I'm going to take Howard because at least with Howard, there's not that much target competition on the team outside of Brandon Cooks, and he's being shadowed. So I'll take Howard, but it's disgusting.
Yep. Super chat from Jeff. Appreciate that. RB2 and flex spots, full PPR, Carter, Stevenson, Hines, Cooks, and or Breece Hall and Elijah Moore. In terms of
your says slots, does that mean you can start 3 of these guys?
RB2 and flex slots.
Either way, I'm gonna RB2 is gonna be Michael Carter for me here.
I would agree with that. And assuming you can, let's just say if you have to start 1 flex, I would probably go with, Brandon Cooks.
Elijah Moore would be if I can start 2.
And if you could start, maybe a third flex, let's just say you're that type of league, I would go with Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
Again, appreciate the super chat.
Of course, yeah. Anybody who's left super chats, definitely appreciate that. Is there any more down there? Or can I go back to the top here?
You can go back up, brother. I'll keep
and we are still hovering around the 11:45 mark. So we are about 45 minutes behind. Again, appreciate all the questions. And like I said, if you want to make sure you guys get your questions answered, we only had 10, 15 people in the Patreon only live stream. There's plenty of room for us to, delve into your questions every Saturday afternoon at noon as well. So that link down below in the description if you guys are interested in that. The $10 here gets you access to that private live stream. Elijah Moore or Michael Carter, full PPR and flex. Yeah, I will go Elijah Moore there for sure. Paris Campbell or Brandon Ayuk for flex PPR. Give me Ayuk. I'm still going Ayuk, even though the weather's going to be bad. Ayuk or Mooney, I'd go Mooney there, given the weather situation. Now that Kamara's out, would you start Taysom Hill over Devontae Smith or Curtis Samuel? No, give me Devontae Smith there.
Agreed.
Football Sunday, yes sir. We all look. I don't know if you're like this, but like all I think about on like Tuesday, Wednesday, Like the days that we don't have football, like Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm like, why can't there just be like a football Sunday on every single day? That's basically, I mean, all the players would like not be able to function as human beings if they were playing that much, but
Imagine.
I would love that from my own entertainment perspective.
Godwin, Pittman, and Davis out, do I start Dotson or drop Gainwell to pick up Chucker? I would start Dotson over either of those receivers anyway, so give me Dotson.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yep.
Darnell Mooney or Woods. Give me Darnell Mooney there. Zeke, Etienne, or Hall. I'll take the workload of Zeke probably, and then Ertz or Tunyon. I will go with Ertz.
Agree with that. Though I do actually like Tunyon's outlook. I talked about it basically in the streamer show, but when it comes to Robert Tunyon, he only saw 39% of the snaps and he saw a limited percentage of the routes. I believe it was like below 50% of the routes. And yet he still saw 5 targets. So that was coming off a questionable tag going into the week. Maybe we see that snap share go up. And if the snap share goes up, he already showed that he can earn targets on this Packers offense. So I wouldn't be shocked if he just, randomly, Sunday night football game against the Bears, he goes out for like 6 for 85 and 2 touchdowns. But with that being said, I like the projectable, case of Ertz a lot better, especially in a get-right game, I think, for the Cardinals. Another super chat here from Rico. Appreciate that. CDMT or Christian Kirk. Give me Michael Thomas there, Rico. Yeah, I'm assuming you agree.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the StreamYard, I think there's like an overload of questions. It skipped from 11:45 a.m. to 12:06 p.m. for some reason. So it buried any question that was asked between those 2 time periods. I don't know how to fix that, but that's what happened. If anybody is wondering why I didn't answer their question just now.
Okay. Mike flexed Treylon Burks or Christian Watson full PPR. I'm going to go with Treylon Burks. They're both projections.
I'm going Watson. I get the routes with Watson. Give me Watson.
Yeah.
It's an easier matchup too. I'll take Watson. I don't like either of them, but I would play Watson.
I don't either.
I know he's going to at least be on the field.
Give me Burks. I want the upside here. It's fucking. Oh man, that's. They're both dart throws. They both are clearly ceiling plays because, I mean, if Watson hits, you potentially get the number 1 for Green Bay. If Treylon Burks hits, like, he was my wide receiver 1 going into the draft cycle, and he's a perfect fit for what Tennessee wants to do. So give me Watson, actually. You know what, this week, you want the A-Rod number 1 in the Sunday night matchup plus the route participation last week.
Yep.
That's close, though.
Yeah, DJ Moore, Adam Thielen, give me DJ Moore there. Hayden says, quarterback, Brady or Lance, give me Brady. Wide receiver 2, Deontay or Michael Thomas. I'll take Michael Thomas there. And then flex, AJ Dillon or Michael Thomas / Deontay.
Well, if you're already starting MT, then I would go with MT and Dillon for your flex and wide receiver 2 spots.
PPR doesn't lean you towards Deontay at all. I think Deontay would be me in full PPR. I would take Deontay over AJ Dillon.
It's close, but I mean, I just really trust that game script for the Packers tonight. We actually got a couple super chats here as well. First one from Cameron. Appreciate that. He says, half PPR, Jamal Williams, Miles Sanders, or Brandon Ayuk. Oh, if the weather wasn't a concern, I would say easily Ayuk. But with the weather being a concern, I actually don't mind starting Sanders on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I think that game is going to be high scoring. So Sanders probably has a good chance to get in the end zone.
Another super, appreciate that from Alex. He says CD or Henderson in full PPR. I don't want to sit CD, but I mean, Darrell Henderson's such a nice projection this week going up against Atlanta. We saw the workload last week, and he's, until further notice, going to be a top 15 running back for me.
Agreed. Jesse says
we got a couple more.
Okay, yeah, he says T Higgins, Michael Thomas with Kamara out. I would go T Higgins either way.
Really?
Yeah, I have T Higgins at 10 and Michael Thomas at like 13.
I will take Michael Thomas here.
Not bad. Go ahead.
Standard Jamal Williams or James Robinson. Give me James Robinson there, Cameron.
Yeah, easily, for sure. I mean, Jamal Williams is a little bit more interesting now with Swift dealing with some stuff, though.
$2 super from Hunter. Appreciate that. He says Cousins or Joe Burrow. Give me Joe Burrow here.
Yeah, I'll take Burrow there as well.
Dollar super from Curtis. If you have a question, we will get to it. Oh, he says Landry or Gage. Give me Russell Gage here, Curtis.
Agreed.
That's pretty close, though. Michael Carter or Drake London, flex, Taysom Hill or Logan Thomas, full PPR. So for the first question, Carter or London, give me London pretty easily there, Michael. And in terms of the second question, give me Logan Thomas over Taysom Hill.
Logan Thomas over Taysom Hill is tough. I think if Jameis is dealing with an injury, give me Taysom Hill. I think they might use him a little bit more.
That's fair. I mean, what if he just randomly goes in a quarterback in this game?
Right? Yeah. If
That's a
if
factor.
he has to start at quarterback too, then
Yeah.
give me Taysom Hill
Yeah.
with what
I,
Jameis is dealing with.
I don't mind that. You got an iffy option in Thomas. I don't mind, maybe potentially shooting for upside here with Taysom. So I'll
Because that
change my
could be a
answer. Go
huge
with Taysom.
ceiling play if Taysom Hill gets in at quarterback for like the
Yeah.
second quarter and beyond.
I don't mind going Taysom in that instance. Then give me Taysom. James Robinson, ETN, Elijah Moore from Henry. Appreciate that. $4.99 super chat. In terms of the first question here, oh, you can pick two. Okay, give me ETN, Elijah Moore there, Henry.
Yeah, I will as well.
Don't apologize for asking this question in non-super, brother. You're good.
Yeah.
Gustavo, appreciate that. He says full PPR for running back and flex. James Robinson, ETN, Elijah Moore, Landry, and Mark Ingram. So for this question, I'm going with ETN, Elijah Moore. Same thing as the other question, pretty much. ETN, Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I'm looking. Sorry, I just want to see what the conversion is of pesos to Canadian dollars. So it's like $8. So I appreciate that for sure.
Appreciate that. $1.99 from Mike. Appreciate that. Gabe Davis owner dropped Tony to pick up McKenzie. I don't want to drop Tony.
I'd rather just hold Tony than have McKenzie, to be honest.
Agreed.
If you have to start somebody this week, I think you have to pick up McKenzie though, right?
Is there any other options that you can drop, Mike? Let me know. I'll keep an eye on it.
I would say if you gotta hold Gabe Davis and see if he plays, and then if he doesn't play, you have to pick up McKenzie. I'm okay dropping Tony, I suppose.
Agreed. Fantasy Football Atomic, appreciate that $4.99 super chat. He says, good day, gentlemen. ETN, Edmonds, London, Wilson, or A-Rob. Edmonds, Hines, or Ingram, and Komet, Ingram, or Gage. So for the first question, Edmonds, London, Wilson, or A-Rob, give me Drake London there. In terms of give me Edmonds out of those three running backs, and give me Russell Gage out of those three options at the end there.
Yep.
Appreciate the super chat, by the way, Atomic. Also, Spicy Hot is our backstage mod, so I'll answer your question too. In terms of Elijah Moore, DJ Moore, Bateman, give me DJ Moore there. Oh, who do you sit? I would sit Rashad Bateman there, Spicy.
Yeah.
In a private chat.
Are we good on supers? So I'm go to the top.
We are all supers for the time being.
Okay, yeah. So I'm about at 12:08 p.m. right now. Again, like I said, for whatever reason, it skipped over 11:45 to 12:03 or so. So if you asked a question during that time, just let us know that that's when you asked it, and we'll try and get to it for you for sure, because you guys were in here, obviously pretty early then. Lamar or Matt Stafford, I'm going Lamar there pretty easily.
Oh yeah.
Wide receiver 3, Moore or Smith, leaning towards Moore, pretty easily. DJ Moore there for me.
Moore.
Either if that's Elijah
DJ
Moore
or
or
Elijah,
I'm taking either one.
Agree there.
Tough one. Elijah, Olave, Burks.
Pin that from Spicy, by the way. Star that. The last comment that you just went over.
Yeah, I got it.
Star. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so for me, that's probably Elijah Moore is where I'm going in that decision right there, Leonardo. And then at running back, okay, he needs a running back, a wide receiver, and a flex. So Elijah's the wide receiver, ETN's the running back, and who do you go at the flex here? Because you can't. I guess you could wait for Gabe Davis and play Burks if he's out.
I don't mind. So what'd you say? You said ETN, Elijah for sure.
Yeah, and then a flex, and you could use.
Give me Jeff Wilson.
You want to just go Jeff Wilson then instead of trying to wait for Gabe Davis?
Yeah, I don't want to play that game. It's more likely that he's going to be out than he's going to play.
Is there a running back that you could pick up? I guess maybe Singletary's probably owned and stuff, so you probably can't do that.
Wait, Rex Burkhead's here. Give me Rex Burkhead. I didn't even see him in there.
Oh, I'm not taking.
I have Rex Burkhead higher than all of them.
I'll take Jeff Wilson over Rex Burkhead 100%.
Fair. Okay, I'll take Rex.
Yeah, you're just like way higher on him.
I am.
Full PPR, Travis Etienne, Elijah Moore, Judy, or Bateman. Give me Judy there by a wide margin, Cordell. Nathan says Christian Kirk or Darnell Mooney. Give me Christian Kirk. Give me Deontay Johnson there. I don't really care that I have Lamar. I think Deontay is just a much better play.
I'd agree. We actually do have two supers here. Appreciate that. First one, price 33. He says Gainwell, McKissick, Moss, starting Gibson, Kamara out. In terms of this, I will lean Kenneth Gainwell. Let me just check the utilization just to make sure. But I think
I'd go Gainwell, especially considering you're also starting Gibson. You don't maybe want to totally load up on that Washington offense. So I'm cool just going Gainwell there.
Gainwell got all of the long down and distance and 2-minute drill work, and he actually had a 40% targets per route run in week 1. This looks to be a player that they want to keep getting involved in the receiving game.
He also got some work in the red zone too. So yeah. And this is a game that we expect to be higher scoring than whatever the Washington game is. So
Agreed. So I will go with Gainwell there. Another super here from Alec. Appreciate that. He says half PPR flex Lamb, Jamal Williams, Akers, or Pollard. Give me CD Lamb still there, Alec.
Yep.
Another super here from Big Rod. Appreciate that.
Sorry.
He says Trey Lance or Carson Wentz. Thanks, guys. I hate
that's
that the
close
weather's
now with the weather. I would still go Trey Lance, but that's definitely closer.
Agreed. That's what I was going to say. Like, I want to say easily with Trey Lance, but I mean, with the weather, it's closer. I'd still trust the rushing ability of Trey Lance. Also, shout out to Brock and everybody else who's helping answer some comments. Because as you guys know, about 200 people in here. A lot of the newer comments, it's going to be tough to get to.
Yeah. So TM says pick 2 PPR, Hollywood, MT, Higgins. As tough as it is to sit Michael Thomas, I'm playing Hollywood and Higgins 100%.
I'm playing MT and Hollywood.
We might have to do a Higgins versus Michael Thomas bet here.
I'm down.
Yeah, the tiebreaker for those guys for me is just Carlton Davis on Michael Thomas. That's really just the tiebreaker because I think they're all great top 15 type of options, but I think Higgins is going to have especially other too because Chase is going to see Diggs the whole game also. So Higgins, now that he's playing, is in a great spot to smash.
Yep. By the way, we got a few more supers here. First one from Hayden. Appreciate that. Trey in the rain or Mariota, 6-point passing touchdown. I'm still going to go with Trey Lance here. It sucks that he's dealing with the weather, but I mean, he should still be considered a top 15 quarterback, in my opinion. Next comment from Obsessed with Success. Appreciate the super chat. Risky Gabe Davis or play Mooney or Elijah Moore. I'm just going to start Elijah Moore. Yeah. And then finally, we also got another super here from Brett. Banged up DeAndre Swift or Tony Pollard standard. Give me DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift could be like 40% in this game, and I'd still rather that projectable workload than maybe what we could see from Tony Pollard.
Yeah, agreed. DJ Chark or Curtis Samuel. This one's kind of interesting. I think I'd go Curtis Samuel slightly, but I don't mind. Samuel. They're all they're playing each other, I believe, right? So I think all the tertiary wide receivers in that game, not named Terry McLaurin and Amon-Ra St. Brown, are fine, like low-end flex plays. DJ Chark, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, all those guys. You could probably convince me that they're solid guys to throw in your lineup if you're desperate.
Another super, appreciate that from Chris. He says should be a no-brainer, but Murray or Fields.
It is a no-brainer. You start Murray.
Kyler Murray. Yep, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
$2 super here from Brandon. Appreciate that. He says full PPR flex, Curtis Samuel or Chase Edmonds. Give me Chase Edmonds there. Much better projectable workload. $5 super here from Key. Appreciate that. He says Zeke or Brandon Cooks for a flex spot.
Cooks.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Cooks as well. That's relatively close. But I
don't think Zeke's going to be very effective in this game. He's got a solid workload, which
and that's why
he can get into the end zone or whatever. But I think he's going to be pretty ineffective. The Bengals' run defense looks pretty legit. They were good towards the end last year, and they looked good in week 1 too.
Yep. Got another super here from C-Mags. Appreciate that. Full PPR flex spot, Henderson or Dotson. If this is Darrell Henderson is a top 15 running back for me.
Yeah, it's Sky. I don't know. It would be. It's definitely Darrell Henderson. So yeah, give me Henderson.
Yep. And again, appreciate the super there, C-Mags.
Yep. Grimley goes Jeff Wilson or ETN. I have him back to back, but in PPR, give me ETN.
ETN.
We also got, I think I answered this already, but Mooney was the answer. Gabe Davis or Landry at flex.
I would risk it for Gabe.
If Isaiah McKenzie's on your waiver wire, I would risk it for Gabe Davis and drop Landry for Isaiah McKenzie if you have to, or drop somebody else if you have anybody else that you could drop.
I agree with that. Another superhero. Appreciate that from Trust Brothers. Ingram, Gordon, Zach Moss, Damian Pierce to start at running back. Give me Melvin Gordon pretty easily here. I think Melvin Gordon, that matchup against Houston, like we could see a similar situation to what we mentioned with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt against the Jets for what we see this week with Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams against the Texans. I think both of them can be like 15, 20 plus PPR point scores this week. Appreciate another super chat here from AS, $1.99. Lost Gabe Davis, so McKenzie, CD, or Burkhead, full PPR.
Yeah.
Give me CD.
Yep.
Give me CD.
Pick 2, Zach Moss, Pickens, Paris Campbell, or Jahan Dotson. Give me Jahan Dotson for sure. And then the other one, I don't love Pickens' outlook in this game, to be honest. It's like a low scoring type of game. This is disgusting as fuck. But
You're gonna say Zach Moss.
Campbell. I would say Paris Campbell over Moss and Pickens there.
Maybe.
Pittman's out. Like they're gonna need somebody.
I'll plug my nose in.
Random splash games in the past. I'll take Paris Campbell.
Yeah, I'll plug my nose and agree with that. That
is a stinky ass decision. I don't mind if you want to just go talent and just go Pickens over him, but I don't think the Steelers are going to get much going in the passing game. They had felt like they only had like a couple first downs last week against the Bengals, and the Patriots defense should be able to hold them a little bit.
By the way, I just saw Spicy's comment later down in the stream. Shout out B-Mac in the house.
Yeah. Happy BR pick 2, Swift, Deontay Johnson, Michael Thomas. Is this a situation
Deontay.
where you sit Swift or are you still playing Swift?
I'm sitting Deontay.
You're sitting Deontay, eh?
Yeah.
This is like the brink of when I would decide maybe I sit Swift in this scenario because of the.
I still have Swift higher than you. I still have Swift at top 10.
I have him at 14, so I moved him down a little bit lower than you did because I do think he's going to be limited to some extent. It really all depends. If you're already like up in your matchup and you just need like a floor play, I would probably sit Swift because his floor is going to be really low in this matchup.
That's fair.
But yeah, I think I would be gutty here and sit Swift if this was me.
Yep, I agree with that. Or I don't agree with that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds' mustache. What an elite profile pick right here. Zeke, Drake, or Lazard at flex. Give me Ezekiel Elliott out of those options. Nate, Jameis is actually him. Bryson, also, how the fuck am I not wearing my Buccaneers jersey right now? I am actually throwing. Fuck the Saints and everything that they stand for.
Also, BMax breaks in the chat is like, did I do something? No, there's another BMac in the chat that he's a tone setter,
Oh, is it a different BMac?
There's 2 BMacs in the chat. There's BMax breaks, and then there's like BMac like Braden.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
His classic rolling in here, and he's just like, sup shitters.
Yeah, literally.
$2 super here from Brandon. Appreciates that. Hold Njoku or pick up Alberto, Tunyon, Thomas, rest of season. If this is rest of season, I'm still going to prioritize Njoku, but they all, I mean, for the first 3 in particular, Thomas, I'm not really interested, but in terms of Njoku, Alberto, and Tunyon, they all got the route participation that we wanted to see. It's just for the most part, when it comes to, Tunyon didn't, but we expect he's going to with a heightened snap share this week, getting off that questionable tag. Alberto got the usage that we wanted to see, and Njoku didn't get the targets, but got the usage we want to see. So they have like similar tight end 8 to 15 type of outlooks, I would say. It's just the one you want to hedge your bet on, honestly. Which one would you lean here? Because this is honestly,
I
really
think
close.
I would take Alberto over Njoku rest of the season. Give me
what about
none
Tunyon?
of these guys are going to end up commanding huge target shares of their offense. I personally just don't believe David Njoku has the ability to do that. So I think you're focused on touchdown opportunity for these guys, and I think Alberto has the best chance at that. I guess Tunyon does also, but we already saw the usage with Alberto, so I'm going to go with Alberto rest of the season of these options.
Yep. BMax just like, may the real BMax please stand up. Another super chat here. Appreciate that from DJ. $3. He says, hope Dak was hope. Wait. Oh, hope Dallas was right. Okay. Yeah. No, Texas was a great time.
Dak also.
That's what I thought. I was confused for a second. Yeah. No, Dallas was a super, super fun trip. Honestly. Great time over there. In terms of your question, Judy, both Morris and Marquis Brown. Give me Judy and Marquis.
Okay, DJ and Elijah were the 2 Morris that he's referring to there. DJ and Judy's a little close for me, but I would go Judy as well.
Yep. The BMacs are just battling in the chat.
Yeah. Nick says James Robinson or Darnell Mooney. This is pretty interesting. Where do you lean in this one? I think I go Mooney here, but it's pretty close.
Mooney.
What do you guys think about Kenyon Drake just for this week? I think Kenyon Drake is a guy that I'm willing to start as like a top 40 running back, but I'm not overly excited about him. Like, who would you rather start out of these options? Kenyon Drake or Naeem Hines?
I have Doms higher than you then. Or Drake higher than you then. With the usage, he's got to be in the top 35 with the usage we saw last week.
Okay, so who would you rather start, James Robinson or Kenyon Drake?
Drake.
Really? You'd rather start him over James Robinson? I would not.
He's my RB30 this week.
What about Kenyon Drake or Damian Harris?
Drake.
Kenyon Drake or Naeem Hines?
Drake.
Kenyon Drake or Breece Hall?
Drake.
Kenyon Drake or Michael Carter?
Drake.
Kenyon Drake or Melvin Gordon?
That is really close, but I have Drake.
Really? What about Kenyon Drake or Miles Sanders?
One spot, Drake.
Really? You have Drake a lot higher than me then. I'm at 34.
I have a 30.
Yeah, that's pretty high for me. That's a little too high. Where do you have Penny? Do you not have Penny ahead of him?
Penny 28.
Okay, so you do have him ahead.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that's buried for you? Singletary, right? You don't have Singletary where
29.
I have him at 26.
29.
Okay, so you do have him. What about Montgomery?
Montgomery, I have at 23 right now.
Okay, so you have him higher than me, actually. All right.
Yeah, it's just the usage, man. He
I know.
got
It's gross though.
Oh, it's you got to plug your nose and do it. But I mean,
Yeah.
you have to do what you got to do.
I think we already got this question, but Hertz would be our
Yep.
answer for that.
We got a few supers, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'll get to them. First one from Josh. Appreciate that. 2, McLaurin, Marquis Brown, Waddle, Deontay, Michael Thomas. First of all, what a fucking situation to have when you have those wide receivers. Second of all, I'm going to go with Marquis Brown and Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
I Terry McLaurin is close, though. I want to see how far off I have him. And Michael Thomas my 12. Terry McLaurin's my 16. So, yeah, they are really close.
Lean McLaurin now that Jameis is dealing with, like, it sounds like Jameis is dealing with some shit. Plus, we have the Carlton shadow matchup. Do you lean McLaurin over Michael Thomas?
They're close.
I actually have McLaurin higher, so I would go McLaurin.
I'm still going to go with MT.
Like, where do you have MT? Because I have him at 16. Like, I have him
at 12.
You definitely have him.
12.
Yeah.
$2 super chat from Big Rod. Appreciate that. Ayuk for stack with Lance or Mooney. I'm going to go with Mooney in this one. I think it's going to be a very run game type of script for the 49ers this week against Seattle, especially in that weather. Our Gravy, appreciate that. Super chat. He says, ret yard points, change your mind on return yard points. Change your mind on Swift versus CPAT. The CPAT still return kicks for the Falcons? Because I think I thought when he became their full-time running back, like they took him off those duties. I mean, I could look into that right now.
I wish I paid attention to the Falcons kickoff coverage, but I do not.
Either way, I'm going to go with Swift.
I think I don't blame you if you go CPAT. I would still go Swift, but I don't blame you if you want to go CPAT, especially in that kind of format if CPAT is still returning kicks.
Yeah, I don't mind that too. Also, Josh is like, man, I know my receivers are nuts. Yeah, you're in a really good spot there. Here, let's get to a few more comments and this at 12:55 so we can set our lineup. So for those of you that are, asked between the 12:10, 12:15 range, you're probably gonna get your answer.
I'm at 12:10 right now. So hopefully I can get to that. Again, we'll do our best to get through as many of these as we can.
We got one other super chat here. Sorry. Josh, appreciate that. $1.99. He says David Montgomery or Michael Carter. Give me David Montgomery in that workload that we saw last week. I think projecting forward going into this week as well. It's not going to be efficient. It's kind of going to be gross, but he was basically playing in all facets of the game last week.
Yep, for sure.
Yep.
We got Zach Moss, George Pickens. Okay, we already answered this question. It was Dawson and Paris Campbell. Komet Hurst. Did he start Taysom Hill over Komet Hurst, Alberto, or Tunyon?
Alberto, I have highest
over those guys. I think
I would go Alberto.
I'm starting to move Taysom Hill up in my rankings this week because I do think he should probably be in people's lineups with Jameis dealing with some shit.
I'm not going to rank him too high, but he's going to be probably in like that back end like teens area. I'd say.
I put him at 14. So
yeah, that's a little too high for my liking. I'll probably have him at 18.
I think they also know we also suck at defending Taysom Hill too. Like we always have problems with him.
Fair. I have Alberto at 11 though, so give me Alberto.
Brock 4 fractures ? Yeah, dude, Jameis is nails, man. Jameis will play through anything.
Yeah. By the way,
the entire 2017 season, he had an AC joint sprain in his throwing shoulder.
Yeah,
like that was I don't know how the fuck he played through that.
By the way, DJ, if you have a question, I appreciate the super chat, but feel free to leave a question here too.
Yeah,
I'll take a look.
Give me Knox there, Scott. They go in order. Yeah, okay,
appreciate that.
Jameis is literally the greatest QB of all time, Bryson said.
Andrew, appreciate that $2 super chat. Start to no PPR. Kirk, Deontay, Curtis Samuel. Sorry for Curtis Samuel, but you're sitting him for those other two.
Yep, I agree.
Yep. About a couple minutes, so we will try to go as rapid fire as
you can set your lineups right now. Mine are all set, so if you want to set yours, you can go ahead. PPR, RB2, Swift, Hunt, or CPAT. I'm going to. That is a tough question. I'm going to probably go Swift there, but if you're in need of a floor, I think Hunt is probably the safest play of those guys.
I'd agree with that. Got a quick super chat here from Goon. Appreciate that. Pick 2, Aaron Jones, Dillon, and Henderson. I'm going with Dillon and Henderson, and Corey's going to go with Jones and Henderson.
Yep.
Yep.
Should I start Lamar Hertz? Yeah, Hertz again.
Yep.
CPAT, Penny, or Renfro. Give me a CPAT there pretty easily, Nick.
Pretty easily.
Taysom Hill or Tyler Higbee. That's a real conversation. I think I would go Higbee. I think he's got probably a better volume share. Plus, we know Robinson might have a bit of a tough time with AJ Terrell in this game, and Kupp can't catch everything. It's possible that he has like 20 targets again, but I'll take Higbee there.
Yep. Appreciate that, DJ. Nothing, another $2 super chat. Ayo, good luck, y'all. Who's your rookie of the week prediction? If we're not going to pick the same one, I'm assuming you're probably going to go Dotson. I'm going to go Drake London.
Was Dotson the rookie of the week last week?
He should have been. I mean, he was through 3 for 40 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay. I'll take Dotson. I'm going to take Olave. I think Olave is going to probably have a good
I like
game
that.
against us. So I'll take Olave as the rookie of the week this week.
And I'm going to go with London there. Got another super here. Appreciate that from Pretty Boy Nick. Pick 2, Evan Swift, Kirk Henderson in full PPR. What a spot. I mean, Evans and Swift are both entering their games banged up. I'm going to go with Swift and Henderson.
You're going to take Evans out of your lineup?
It hurts, but
like Julio out, you think they're not going to use him at all? Because I got to tell you this, if Evans doesn't get 10 targets in this game, we're going to lose by 20 points or more.
Yeah.
Because like Russell Gage can't carry us, and Leonard Fournette's also dealing with shit too. So like, I think with Julio out and it's just Gage and Evans out there, like you have to fucking play Evans, I think.
Yep.
And he plays through shit all the time. I'm not worried about if I could pick one player in the entire NFL for who I'm not worried about playing through injury, it would be Mike Evans.
Yep. Sorry. Get through a couple. I'm gonna quickly set my lineup.
So we got Tommy Reed says half PPR pick 2, Devontae Smith, Rashad Bateman, Hunter Renfrow, Michael Carter. I'll go Bateman for sure there, and probably Carter with the other option. But I wouldn't blame you for going Smith either, because I think he's in a good spot game script wise this week. We already got that one there. 14 team PPR start 2, Patterson, Sanders, and Drake. I would be going Patterson and Sanders of those options. I don't know if you'd have Drake. You said you had Drake over Sanders, though, right?
Yeah, I would go Drake.
I'm
Drake
going
and Patterson.
Sanders and Patterson for sure.
Go Drake and Patterson.
Dylan says Fields or Ryan. Give me Justin Fields of those two options there. Playing through literally fractured rib cartilage to get our bets. For flex, Zeke, Drake, or Lazard, I'm going to take Zeke there of those options. Curtis Samuel or Gabe Davis.
Bush.
What's up?
You want to hear something gross?
What's up?
I have to play in our listener league 4 running backs this week. Henderson, okay, Singletary, Connor, and Burkhead. Because fucking Kamara's out, Gabe Davis is probably going to be out. I picked up Crowder, but now that I'm thinking about it, like I would rather trust Burkhead than have to go with Crowder if I'm put in that spot.
Yeah, this is another thing that we didn't think about with Gabe Davis too. What this guy asked here, he says he could pivot to KJ Osborne because there is 2 Monday night games.
That's fair.
I thought about that. So yeah, for anybody that asked a Gabe Davis question, if you have like a flex spot opening of like Miles Sanders that you could throw in if Gabe Davis is out, or KJ Osborne or Adam Thielen, or I'm trying to think of who other like flex caliber guys in that area, Devontae Smith, like somebody like that, and you can wait on Gabe Davis that way. I'm cool doing that if you have like a Devontae Smith on your bench or something.
We actually got another super chat here from DJ. I appreciate that. Flex, Damian Harris, Burkhead, Mooney, or Bateman stack. I'm going to go with Bateman.
Yeah. Take the over in the 49ers game. Weather is not as bad as you think in Santa Clara. About to start our baseball tournament out here, and it's not raining anymore. Okay, wow. So some interesting takes there. I'm probably still going to personally start Elijah Moore over Ayuk in my home league, but I could definitely regret that. I could totally understand. Because I had Ayuk as like a great start this week, and it's totally like on brand for me to like somebody early in the week and then fade on them as the week goes along, and then they end up being a great play, and I sat them. That usually happens to me all the fucking time. So
but either way, I appreciate you guys for sticking around for about an hour and 16 minutes thus far. If you guys enjoyed the stream, please leave a like. 123 of you still in there. So if we can get the stream to as close to 100 likes as we possibly can, definitely appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys this week. I mean, a ton of content coming in, of course, next week, Sunday morning live stream, as always, for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. And down across the bottom of the screen on the ticker there, if you guys want to get access to our rankings, if you want to be in the Patreon only live stream to make sure that we get to your questions as in depth as we possibly can, private live stream every noon Eastern on Saturdays that we do for our patrons, $10 and $40 tiers over there. And we post that live to YouTube after. So if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure your questions get answered. Patreon.com/fantasy stock exchange. You also get access to our weekly rankings that you don't even have to be in these live streams for if you don't want to, and you can just, check where we have them ranked and be on your merry way. So with that being said, make sure you guys enjoy the games, eat some wings, drink some beers, whatever you got to do, and good luck in all of your fantasy matchups. Peace out.